London, 1964. A city still rebuilding from the scars of World War II. A city that believed its darkest days were behind it. It was wrong. Over the next 2 years, 6 women were found dead along the banks of the River Thames. All of them young. All of them stripped, completely naked. All of them strangled. The newspapers gave the killer a name: Jack the Stripper, and Scotland Yard launched one of the largest manhunts in British history. Hundreds of detectives, thousands of interviews, an entire city living in fear. But here is what made this case truly unlike anything the world had seen before. The killer wasn't hiding. He was hiding in plain sight. Forensic investigators noticed something deeply strange about the victims. Microscopic flecks of paint, the same paint, on every single body, a unique industrial spray paint used in only one type of facility, a factory or a spray workshop. Somewhere near the Thames, they began to narrow it down, block by block, building by building. The investigation was closing in like a net pulled slowly through dark water. And then, just as detectives believed they finally had their man, everything stopped. The murders ceased, completely, suddenly, without explanation, no final victim, no dramatic confrontation, no arrest, just silence. John Dewrose, the chief superintendent leading the investigation, later wrote in his memoirs that he had identified the killer, a man named Mungo Ireland, a security guard who worked near the Thames, a quiet man, unremarkable, the kind of man nobody notices. Dewrose had been preparing to bring him in for questioning, but Mungo Ireland never made it to that interrogation room. On the morning detectives were closing in, he was found dead. He had taken his own life. He left no confession, no note explaining his crimes, no final words for the families of 6 women who would spend the rest of their lives waiting for answers. In his memoirs, Dewrose wrote that he believed the murders stopped because the killer knew the net was closing. He could feel it. The investigation had terrified him into silence, and ultimately into his own death. But here is the darkest part of this entire story. Because Mungo Ireland died before he could be arrested, before he could be questioned, before any evidence could be formally tested against him, he was never officially named as the killer. Not by Scotland Yard, not by any court of law. His guilt or innocence died with him. The families of the 6 victims received no justice, no closure, no answers. The case of Jack the Stripper was quietly closed, filed away, forgotten by a city that had moved on. Today, more than 60 years later, the Hammersmith Nude Murders remain officially unsolved. The name Mungo Ireland appears in true crime books and cold case archives, but he was never charged, never convicted, never officially declared guilty of anything. 6 women were murdered. A city was terrorized for 2 years, and the man most likely responsible simply vanished. Not by escaping, not by hiding, but by dying before justice could reach him. Some killers are caught by detectives, some are caught by DNA evidence, and some are caught by nothing at all. Because sometimes the truth doesn't wait for justice. Sometimes it just dies quietly in the dark. This has been The Curious Past. See you in the next mystery.